This video is meant to answer the question, is Vietnam ready for an open and free competitions, and our view about the necessity of TPP. There are three main points in our presentation. Firstly, overview about TPP. Secondly, is Vietnam ready for these competitions? And thirdly, joining TPP is necessary or not for Vietnam. What is TPP? The Trans-Pacific Partnership, in short, is a proposed free trade agreement among 12 Pacific Rim countries, including the US, Malaysia, Japan, Vietnam, Singapore, Brunei, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Canada, Chile, and Peru. Moreover, it will support the creation and retention of jobs, innovation, productivity, and competitiveness, raise living standard, reduce poverty, and promote transparency, good governance, and environmental protection. While all member countries tend to benefit from TPP, Vietnam is predicted to be the TPP biggest winner, but the biggest prize followed by the biggest risk. Is Vietnam ready for these competitions?
From 1994, Vietnam opened to trade and quickly entered multiple trade agreements. For example, like AFTA, FTA. It is fair to say that Vietnam has benefited much from these traders to make considerable economic development. When it comes to TPPA, Vietnam will experience a whole different story. TPPA index promises Vietnam with many advantages, but Vietnam may not be ready enough for so-called the most important trade agreement of the 21st century. First of all, a large number of Vietnamese workers is not qualified. According to a survey in 2013, the percentage of workers with a specialized training is 80%. The figure is 19.5% in 2015. However, when we are in TPP, only the worker with actual competence can have jobs, which leads to the rise in the unemployment rate of Vietnam. Secondly, is the lack of Vietnamese knowledge about TPP leads to the unreadiness of Vietnam. According to a survey conducted by Pace Institute Management on December 28, 2015, about 40.9% of the survey company didn't know or didn't care about TPP, and about 77.8% didn't know what TPP entails. When it comes to export or import, many domestic companies will be put under great pressure. For example, like Australian imported beef with the same price as Vietnam but higher quality will dominate the domestic market. Among the 12 participants, Vietnam may be the least developing countries and thus facing the highest risk. Joining TPP will put Vietnam enterprise into a harsh competition with big and material players from developed world. Will Vietnam innovate and catch up, or ever fall behind with the broken firms? With all above listed points, Vietnam is not ready enough for TPP. So the question is it still necessary?
The answer is yes. TPP will create a momentum for Vietnam's economic development as it will boost GDP. A research indicates that TPP can bring about $3.7 million per year for Vietnam's GDP, and it is expected to grow to 8 to 10% each year until 2013, depends on the reforms of the country. After joining TPP, many investors will come and is to explore the opportunities. When the country can penetrate further into the bigger markets like US and Japan, an increase in GDP is an increase in consumption, export investments, including FDI and domestic investment. The biggest advantage of Vietnam joining TPP is the promotion of exports. Why? Because of tariff reduction, which means cheaper imports of goods, services, and factors of production. So the labor-intensive manufacturing sectors, which have really high import tariffs, will benefit the most. This includes textile, garment, and footwear, along with food processing and electronic industries. TPP parties has agreed to phase out tariffs on textile and garments products. This is the key export item of Vietnam. So textile industry will grow faster, and this will help improve the unemployment problems in Vietnam and help out the poor, as this industry needs millions of workers. However, the biggest problem is the strict rule of origin, which will be a hurdle for Vietnam, as the majority of materials are imported from China and Taiwan, non-TPP country, which means non-compliance to the TPP rules of origin requirements. However, this may be a good thing as it will reduce the dependence of importing from China. Moreover, among the current TPP members, Vietnam has unique comparative advantage, especially in labor-intensive manufacturing. By enhancing access in K-export in Vietnam, TPP is expected to create opportunities for Vietnam's manufacturers export to replace some of China's in some places. There is no denying that this will bring a lot of pressures in Vietnam's domestic companies, but this will also boost performances.
The next reason that's why TPP is very necessary for Vietnam is that this agreement will bring Vietnamese very huge benefits in terms of education. Basically, to prepare for this very harsh competition, the government is now reforming and improving the school infrastructure. Next, when the TPP came into force in 2018, there will be more opportunities for the young generation to study abroad, especially among 12 member countries of the TPP. Thus, our citizens can easily approach to the high-quality education as well as the professional working environment. Last but not least, TPP will not only guarantee the labor condition but also provide job opportunities for Vietnamese. Honestly, China is known as the greatest manufacturer of the world, but the US and Vietnam would like to see the Southeast Asian nation less dependent on China, which is not the member of this agreement. And therefore, they aim at the potential market like Asian, and Vietnam will be notable because of the enormous human resource and a commitment to the standard of working environment. Thus, if Vietnam can take this advantage, we can support thousands of jobs for our people and lift them from poverty to the middle class. So to benefit from TPP most, Vietnam has to change. In particular, we need to enhance the protection of property rights. We have to improve the regulation and fight the corruption and continue economic structuring to enhance the competence of domestic enterprise. In conclusion, the TPP is very necessary for Vietnam.
So that is the end of our clip. Thank you for watching.
Bye. Bye. Bye.